Hey everyone, welcome back to the Going Zero Waste YouTube channel. I'm Katherine Kellogg, and today we're going to talk all about the definition of zero waste. What is it? What does it mean? And how it relates to you? Basically, everything that you want to know. I'm so excited because Nala decided to join us today. It is very rare that she decides to grace me with her presence. Instead, she normally just sleeps all day on the bed. And I have her mug, so it's great. Just feeling so connected, feeling so happy that we're here together to tell you all about what zero waste means. So I feel like I hear a lot of people complain about the fact that zero waste is an inaccurate description of what it means. And I mean, that was really confusing, but it is true because there's no such thing as zero waste. It's impossible to be completely and totally zero waste. So I think it's important for us to talk about kind of the history and the definition of what it means. So zero waste, the technical term, means to send nothing to a landfill. The first time that this term was heard of was in the 1970s by a guy named Paul Palmer, who took chemicals from companies that no longer needed them and then sold them to other companies that were looking for them. It's an industrial term. And you can still get your business zero waste certified, closed loop, circular economy. All these kind of things are certificates that you can get for your business because it's all business focused. So now we're applying this to a lifestyle and it looks and acts different. The complex definition that I really like is to completely write waste out of existence. I think that provides a much more holistic viewpoint because there's so many more things that we can waste beyond just what we throw in the trash can. So I think a great example was last year the Super Bowl wanted to do a zero waste Super Bowl, which meant that everything was recyclable or compostable. And while that's absolutely amazing and they were achieving, maybe a 90% diversion rate, in my mind, while it is technically zero waste, I still would like to see reusable options more prolific than disposable options, even if they are compostable. And so I think that's why I really like the more complex definition that I have, which is to write waste out of existence, because when you look at it, other things are being wasted even though they're not going to landfill. Currently, we live in a linear economy, and this means we take resources from the ground, we turn them into products, and then at the end of their life, we throw them into a giant hole in the ground, a landfill, where they will sit for pretty much all eternity, unable to break down or decompose. And that just doesn't seem very smart, right? That doesn't make any sense. And so zero waste is about moving to a circular economy. This is where we take resources out of the ground, turn them into products, and then find a way to reuse them over and over and over again. So a practical application of this, something that you would want to see would be, you would go into a store and let's say you go into Pottery Barn or something and you want to buy a couch. And then they would have a manufacturer responsibility. So you would buy this couch and you would buy it for, let's say, 20 years. And then after 20 years, if it starts to break down or anything like that, they would come pick the couch back up, separate the organic materials and then the industrial materials. And you would take the organic materials like the cotton batting and the cotton cover for your couch, and you would compost that, and they would take the metal frame, they might repair it or melt it down and make a new metal frame, so nothing in the process is wasted. And that's kind of an example of what it would look like if we lived in a more circular economy. Circular economies mimic nature. So in nature, nothing goes to waste. A tree might drop an acorn, but that acorn isn't trash. It's going to turn into compost, it's going to turn into soil, it's going to feed a squirrel, it's going to grow a new tree. So everything that happens has a purpose, and it's about trying to mimic that as closely as possible. So currently in our society, that's impossible because our framework and our structure and the way things are designed, like nothing is meant to mimic that style. And so what we're trying to do when we say we live a zero waste lifestyle is trying to mimic a circular economy, which means that we're going to take our belongings, we're going to try to use things over and over and over again and as long as possible and then repair them. It's about buying things from the secondhand market because that way we're reusing things. We're reusing things that are already in the waste stream so that way they don't go to waste. And if we can take them and repair them and try to give them as long as life as possible. It's another reason why I opt for organic fibers and organic materials and try to opt for non-plastic, because these organic materials will biodegrade, they will turn back into soil, they will be something useful, can be something useful in nature, whereas plastic doesn't biodegrade. It breaks down till it's like super microscopic. And we talked a little bit about microplastics in another video, which I can link to, but a study done by Orb Media found that there were microplastics in 84% of drinking water worldwide. These plastics just get so tiny that they're infiltrating our food systems, our water systems. And that's why one of the main reasons why I try and avoid plastic is because it doesn't ever go away. So even though it is quote unquote recyclable, which is a whole nother video, which I plan on doing a whole series on recycling. But that's another reason why I try to avoid plastics. And that's why I try to buy things that are well made and things that are meant to last, because I want to make sure that I'm not having to buy something over and over and over again. And that's a huge aspect of living a zero waste lifestyle. So I hope that you found this video informative. I hope it kind of helped to clarify the definition of zero waste and why we use it. And also, if you want to hear more, I have a full blog post on it. It's very long, so I also have a full audio recording, like a podcast-ish, that you can listen to of the blog post on the go. It's something I'm thinking of implementing more into my post over the next couple months. So if you would be interested in listening to my blog posts rather than reading them, if you would please let me know in the comment section down below. Well, if you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. Press that big red subscribe button to be notified when new videos are coming out, and I will see you next week with a new video. Bye.